Howdy. Well, in a quick change of pace, which I think we all would welcome that, we've got a very interesting technology article that's coming out of Reuters. I saw this and I was like, wow. So this is pretty cool stuff. Of course, I'll leave the link down in the description in the first comment below. Let me go ahead and bring this up on your screen as well. And it says here exclusive NVIDIA to make ARM based PC chips and major new challenge to Intel. So that is pretty crazy news. Goes on to say NVIDIA dominates the market for artificial intelligence computing chips. Now it is coming after Intel's longtime stronghold of personal computers. This is crazy. Says NVIDIA has quietly begun designing central, well, now it's not so quiet apparently, begun designing central processing units that would run Microsoft's MSFT.0 Windows operating system and use technology from ARM Holdings. And it says two people familiar with the matter told Reuters. Says the AI chip, and I didn't know they were big into AI chips. I know Nvidia for their graphics cards. They make incredible graphics cards. It's Nvidia, it makes the only graphics cards I'll use. I will not, and I am an AMD fan. I will only use AMD processors. However, I won't touch the AMD video cards for nothing because that used to be ATI, and I've got a really nasty experience with ATI and their 800 and some odd dollar all-in wonder I bought in like 2006 that never one day worked right. And it was all driver issues. It's not like there was anything wrong physically or electronically with the card. It's all driver issues, and they never got them fixed. So I know they're no longer ATI, AMD, blah, blah, blah. No, thank you. Radeon can stay over there. Uh, I will stick with NVIDIA. But I didn't know that they were into the AI field. I had no idea that. This goes on to say the AI chip giant's new pursuit is part of Microsoft's effort to help chip companies build ARM-based processors for Windows PCs. Microsoft's plans take aim at Apple, which has nearly doubled its market share in the 3 years since releasing its own ARM-based chips in-house for its Mac computers, according to preliminary third-quarter data research from what's that say? IDC. Now, this is the part that I like to hear. Advanced Micro Devices, otherwise known as AMD, also plans to make chips for PCs with ARM technology, according to two people familiar with the matter. Nvidia and AMD could sell PC chips as soon as 2025, one of the people familiar with the matter said. Nvidia and AMD would join Qualcomm, which has been making ARM-based chips for laptops since 2016. At an event on Tuesday that will be attended by Microsoft executives, including Vice President of Windows and Devices, what is that name? Pavan Davoluri? Something like that. Qualcomm plans to reveal more details about a flagship chip that a team of ex-Apple engineers designed, according to a person familiar with the matter. So, talk about some chip wars. This is actually incredible because this will spur innovation. It will spur price battles, right? So this is really good. It looks like technology just might be getting even cheaper. It's I mean, you have to look at it realistically. Technology, at least for us Americans. Let me make that clear because I should have learned a lesson from Paul. So here's the thing: we are very spoiled in the United States of America. For us, technology is cheap. It's peanuts compared to people. Let me get rid of this. Compared to people from other places, right? Like Paul, when I had asked Paul, we were talking about drones. I had asked Paul if what it would what it would take work-wise, as far as how much time work-wise to buy the same value drone. You know what I mean? So, in other words, because that's the only way we can really truly compare, really, is how much labor, how much time and labor, just general labor, how much time and labor would it take you to afford to buy that, right? That's a true measure. And so we were talking about, I believe we were talking about, say, $1,200. I mean, I think we were talking about the Air 2 when I bought it. And I'd asked him, how long would it take for you to build up, or, the average person in Africa to build up that money to be able to buy that. And he said like 2 or 3 months to be able to do that. And that really set me aback, because again, that's how you can kind of truly um, weigh the currencies and everything else against each other, is by taking an individual item, and say, okay, well, how long would you have to work to obtain this? In my opinion, that's kind of how you really tell where economies are with each other. You know what I'm saying? I know that's by far from the way that financial experts do everything and all that. But I think a lot of that is done with the quote unquote financial experts to kind of keep everybody confused and kind of in a fog, because as long as you don't know what the hell's going on and you don't understand it, you won't be bothering them. That's kind of the way it has worked for decades. Works for politicians, works for Wall Street, it works for all kinds of mm, not so great entities. But nonetheless, this is good news. This is really good news. I hope it's good news, right? Um, I worry that technology is going to take us down a very, very dark path, as if it hasn't already. But I do worry about it taking us a left turn and into an abyss, because it can absolutely do that right now. There are too many entities, both public and private, that have way too much control over your technology, whether it be your phone, your computer, whether it be your thermostat, if it's connected to the grid, right? Could be your refrigerator connected to the grid. It's crazy what people buy today and connect it right up to the grid. Everything. It's not good. That is so not good. It's already happened to where power companies have altered temperature settings on thermostats. Okay. And I I would assume that it was all in the contract that they signed when they accepted the service and blah blah blah. But nonetheless, that's somebody else outside of your home deciding for you what temperature is comfortable for you in your home that you pay the bills in. That's kind of messed up. I think it's going to take a real dark turn. And I think that the hardware that they design to match up with software is going to increasingly be hard to do anything outside of their envelope. I'm trying to break it down here best I can. It'd be hard for any individual to do anything outside of that envelope. It already is damn near impossible, but not impossible. But not impossible, right? Because people could, if they were smart enough, they could write their own operating systems that would work within Windows or with a Windows PC is what I'm saying. Look at Linux. Put it on a Windows built PC, right? So it's just a matter of writing another operating system, and you totally get around all of their stuff. However, and I suspect this could be with that security chip that's for Windows 11, right? You have to have this extra security chip for Windows 11, and I have a sneaky suspicion that that could very well be something that would still allow them access regardless of the operating system and everything that you were running, right? With the SSDs, they take minimal power to power them, right? Just the residual power from the board, from a capacitor on the board, could power that thing for a considerable amount of time. And they could suck data from it at any time. And if that data resided on that SSD that they had direct access to, about the only thing that you're going to do, don't even tell me you're going to encrypt it beyond their capabilities. Don't. That's naive, to say the very, very least. You would have to actually write your own file structure if you wanted to keep it out of their hands, if that is indeed just part of what all the Windows 11 shipped and the new security stuff with Windows 11 and all that. Possibly, I don't know all the ins and outs of this moving to ARM chips. I honestly don't have a clue on all the ins and outs of it. I'll have to look into it. I know when I bought a tablet, because I specifically bought that Lenovo tablet for the drone, for the Mavic Air 2. And that was what I specifically was looking for. It had to be a 64-bit ARM-based processor in the tablet in order for it to be compatible with DJI's products. So I was looking for the cheapest tablet that fit the bill, and for $100 it was a Lenovo. So anyway, keep up on technology. It's pretty cool stuff, to be honest. I enjoy it. It always keeps you learning new stuff. Can never argue with that logic. Shalom.